What's happening, everybody? All right, so last time we were playing around with this truck, it was 90 degrees outside, and that's a little much. So what I'm going to do tonight, it's about 79 degrees, but it's not crazy humid. I mean, it's Velocito, right? So you know it's going to be somewhat humid. The last time I drugged this thing out, we were able to run 1420s, but it was crazy humid. In other words, we're basically running 1420s in a fog, and admittedly running a little bit heavy on fuel. Now, we're running fuel that's a little bit more like what you would expect if you're trying to cover a number, if you will. And it's about as shy of fuel as I would run in one of these trucks, about a quarter of a tank. Now, the tune that's in the truck, just as a bit of a refresher for you guys, is a tune that under wide open throttle is unchanged from the tune that was in the truck before. What's different now, though, is that it's the partial throttle tune that's changed, and that can have a slight effect on getting the truck to launch, just because there's a bit of a transitional period when you're rolling into the throttle where the truck had more timing than it has now. But to be honest with you, you'd be forgiven if you didn't know that there was any difference between one tune and the next if you're just driving the truck around. You can kind of tell a difference if you're used to driving it with that other tune, but realistically, underfoot, so to speak, the butt dyno doesn't really tell you that there's much difference between one or the other. So what I wanted to do is get the truck out with a tune on it that I know is cool with funky fuel quality, which is the whole reason why I put this other tune on the truck, was because I got a bad tank of gas. So the tune that's on the truck will accommodate some funky fuel quality, and that's talking mainly about a tank of 89 octane that might not have really been 89 octane. And because it's a bit more of a conservative tune, at least under partial throttle, we're going to see if this truck runs really any differently now that it's got this tune on it. It does have good 93 octane in the tank. In fact, it's had a couple of cycles of that fuel through it. But we're just going to run a quick blast or two and see how she runs with this fuel and with this tune. Now, I'm not even bothering data logging this truck. I know that this tune is completely safe and definitely a known performer. So what we're going to do is we'll just run up here to the normal spot that we found now and let her rip. Alrighty, guys, just pulling up here, about to make a hit. Going to be kind of aggressive on the launch. Here we go. Alright, let's see how we did. $14.27. 0 to 60, 6.10 seconds. Temperature's 75 degrees. Not crazy foggy humid, but you know, just a normal southeast Velocito kind of day, which is a pretty consistent result. Guys, by the way, this truck in these conditions is now running 1420s. In these conditions, that's quick for any pickup. So, bringing you guys up to speed, giving you all an idea as far as how she's going to run. And again, layout of the truck looks like this: 355 gears, a 180 thermostat, No weight reduction at all. It's got built to serve 20-inch wheels with the Falcons that come on the built to serve wheels, which are all-terrain tires, which actually hook pretty good on the street. The shutters are stuck open, and that is it. That wraps it up, aside from the soundtrack that you're hearing, which is a Borla S-type exhaust. So low 14s in these conditions, I'll take that. Keeping in mind, in really good negative DA, this is a fairly solid 13-second truck. And guys, under partial throttle, 60. It's kind of rolling into the throttle, not really blasting. It's still nice and responsive. So this is a cool tune. If fuel quality is kind of suspect, maybe 91 octane is the best you could get your hands on, then in that case, this would be a pretty good tune for you. By the way, I was towing my boat with this tune today, and absolutely no issues. Not that you would expect there to be any, but no short or low speed spark knock or anything like that. It absolutely just drug the boat around just fine. It's a pretty decent sized boat. 21-foot Chris Craft Scorpion, so on a tandem trailer. So yeah, I'd say she's running pretty good, guys. But there's your ride along of the evening, kind of a tune update, if you will. Even with a tune that's a little bit softer out of the hole, which, by the way, might not necessarily be an all bad thing, might be helping the truck launch a little bit. She'll still knock down low 14s in what I'm showing on the screen here, 75-degree temperatures. I'll take it. I like it. With that, guys, that's a wrap. Adios.